See, that's what gets to me. That's a helicopter. And it's not that high over this building here. With regards to domestic tranquility, that's what becomes an impairment for people over time, just general population. But also specifically people, if you've had any trauma, that's some freedom right there. That's a nice bite. And I was unlawfully detained in Robert Lee County for 193-day stint. And I say unlawfully detained because the judge said that. She said, I see no reason to hold him. I sent a text messages to a phone I pay for, non-violent, non-threatening text messages asking to see my kids and man and hear them. And anywho, point is, Robert E. Lee County has a no bond policy. So they put me out on work release before I even had a hearing. And lo and behold, the sheriff's department, because the hurricane had hit, flew over where I was on work release because the battery on my anklet went dead. And so they probably spent, those flights when I was practicing law doing medevacs, they run from $3,000 to $21,000 each. Billable rates, they usually get paid $3,000 to $7,000. So they spent about $1,500. That helicopter's now gone. I've been riding for over an hour. But, they probably spent $1,500 to $3,000 just to ride over to make sure that I was at my work site with a dead anklet, and I shouldn't even been in jail to begin with. The judge let me out later, and I hadn't even yet had a hearing. So anywho, life is quite interesting with regards to what you're told in school compared to reality. And so I do believe that, unfortunately, in 2025, America has become a police de facto state. We need to be very cautious and get back to empowering your local sheriffs and presuming that people are innocent and free to exercise and practice their rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Takes pursuit. So anywho, survive and thrive in the first world police state by being constitutional and keeping good records and minimizing expenses. I don't necessarily think it's waste because they might be looking for somebody suspected of a crime, but I certainly have seen a lot of big government waste. But if you're peaceful and you budget your words, mind your business and your words, you shouldn't have anything to be concerned about. Bye for now. If you're in TC mode. But if you do get arrested, call a bondsman quickly, hire a lawyer.